Imagine two scenarios that all of us have witnessed to some degree. On one side, an elderly person passing away peacefully, surrounded by family, with a tranquil last breath, as if simply closing their eyes for brief rest. On the other, someone of the same age, perhaps even healthier, whose farewell is marked by agony, fear, or loneliness, a struggle until the end. What truly separates these two final journeys? Would it be just luck, genetics, or life's cruel randomness? The answer, as we'll discover together, is rooted in truths that transcend generations, echoing through the pages of the Bible and the wisdom of those who lived with purpose. This isn't a debate about death, but about life and how the way we live determines how we leave it behind. Because there's an abysmal difference between simply reaching the end and departing in peace, and this difference isn't in the body, but in the soul. King Solomon in Ecclesiastes wrote, "There's a time to be born and a time to die," but what he didn't need to say is that how we die reflects how we lived. In the coming minutes, we'll unveil the three invisible pillars that transform the final chapter from a life of suffering into an epilogue of peace, even when physical pain seems unbearable. And believe me, none of them depend on wealth, perfect health, or luck. They're choices, they're legacies, they're truths many discover too late, but you still have time. The first secret of a peaceful departure is rooted in a timeless biblical truth: the transformative power of reconciliation. Scripture warns us to live peaceably with all men, if possible, as much as depends on you. Romans 12, verse 18. Not as mere suggestion, but as vital wisdom for those wishing to end their journey with serenity. Modern science confirms what the Bible affirmed millennia ago. Unresolved bitterness causes chronic stress, affects the immune system, and can intensify pain perception. But how does this manifest in the elderly? Those who depart peacefully are often those who understood sooner or later the value of resolving conflicts, of asking for and granting forgiveness. The psalmist David, on his deathbed, instructed Solomon to settle pending accounts, showing even a warrior king recognized the importance of departing without emotional debts. This isn't about denying pain or justifying the unjustifiable, but choosing to free oneself from poison that only harms its keeper. Hospitals and nursing homes daily witness the stark contrast between elders who found peace in relationships and those whose last words still carry bitterness. Reconciliation doesn't erase the past, but transforms its anchor weight into wings for the final flight. The second foundation, separating peaceful departure from troubled final journey, lies in what we might call practical faith. It's not just about believing in God, but how this belief translates into inner resources when physical strength is gone. The prophet Isaiah declared, "Those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength." But what does this mean practically for a bedridden elder? While some face each pain as a valley of the shadow of death, others transform their sickbed into an altar, and this difference stems from daily cultivation of faith through years. Practical faith is what finds comfort in Psalm 91, when medicine can no longer cure, what remembers the spirit is willing when the body fails. It's not reality denial, but transcendence. Thanatology research shows patients with active spiritual lives experience less existential suffering at life's end. This faith doesn't magically appear at the last moment. It's the fruit of decades of prayer, Bible study, and fellowship. While the world offers only emptiness, practical faith offers what Hebrews calls the substance of things hoped for. This certainty enables many elders, even amid physical pain, to declare, like Paul, "I have fought the good fight, I have finished the race, I have kept the faith." The third pillar reveals a profound truth. People who depart in peace usually made their emotional legacy clear. Proverbs teaches that the righteous leaves an inheritance to his children's children, But this inheritance goes far beyond material goods. It's about spoken words, expressed affections, strengthened bonds. While some elders accumulate regrets over unsaid things, others invested time writing letters, verbally blessing family, and resolving emotional unfinished business. Psychologists call this the task of farewell, the natural process of life review and closure cycles. Hospitals report that patients given opportunities to record messages, write testimonies, or simply hear "I love you" from loved ones show significantly less anguish in the final process. This pillar reminds us that peaceful departure begins with the courage to love and express while there's still time. The fourth decisive element lies in the wisdom of acceptance, not as passive resignation, but as mature understanding of life's cycle. Ecclesiastes reminds us there's a time to be born and a time to die, but true peace comes when we embrace this truth not just intellectually, but wholeheartedly. Many elderly who suffer at life's end wage a silent war against reality, while those who depart peacefully demonstrate serenity, echoing Job's words, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." This acceptance doesn't emerge from nowhere. It's the fruit of years reflecting on life's transience, as Psalm 90 teaches. Teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Palliative medicine observes that patients who attain this philosophical spiritual understanding require less anxiety medication and exhibit less existential distress. Wise acceptance allows seeing death not as an enemy, but as a natural part of the journey, just as Paul envisioned, "For to me to live is Christ, and to die is gain." This perspective shift enables many elders, even amid physical limitations, to maintain peace transcending human understanding, the very peace Christ promised when he said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you." The fifth pillar reveals one of the most moving secrets. Elders who depart peacefully are almost always enveloped in authentic relationships until the end. Biblical wisdom cautions that two are better than one, for if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has no one to help him up. This truth manifests poignantly at life's twilight. While some elderly waste away in loneliness, even surrounded by people in nursing homes or hospitals, others maintain, until their final days, the warmth of genuine friendships, present family members, and faith communities that don't abandon them. Science confirms that seniors with strong social bonds show greater pain tolerance and lower rates of terminal depression. But what constitutes authentic fellowship? It's not about quantity, but quality. Relationships where they can still be useful, like praying for others, where they're heard even with feeble voices, and where their intrinsic worth is recognized. The early church provides the perfect model. All who believed were together and had all things in common. This support network isn't built on the deathbed, but through decades of relational investment. The result? A journey's end where, even with a frail body, the soul remains warmed by tangible love, exactly as Jesus exemplified by being accompanied by faithful disciples to his final hour. The sixth pillar delves into the depths of Christian hope, not as pious platitude, but as a proven existential anchor. Apostle Paul wrote to the Thessalonians about those who die in hope of resurrection, and this perspective radically transforms the end-of-life experience. While the world sees only an ending, Christian faith offers a different narrative: death as a gateway, not an abyss. This eschatological hope, from Greek eschaton, meaning last things, isn't reality avoidance, but a lens giving meaning even to pain. Elders who've internalized this truth through life demonstrate extraordinary capacity to face physical decline with peace that puzzles medical staff. How else to explain someone with excruciating pain declaring like Job, "I know that my Redeemer lives, and he shall stand at last on the earth"? Modern thanatology discovered that terminally ill patients with solid spiritual hope show significantly less existential despair. This hope doesn't deny separation's grief. Even Jesus wept at Lazarus' death, but transcends it as Paul taught. We do not want you to be ignorant about those who fall asleep, lest you grieve as others who have no hope. The difference between anguish and peace at departure often boils down to this: are we merely leaving one life, or journeying to another? The seventh pillar reveals a surprising paradox. Elders who maintain gratitude until their final days frequently experience less existential suffering. Apostle Paul urged us to give thanks in all circumstances, and this seemingly simple guidance proves profoundly wise when confronted with aging's realities. While some focus solely on what they've lost, health, independence, loved ones, others clearly see what remains: precious memories, small daily joys, love they can still give and receive. Positive psychology confirms that daily gratitude practice literally alters brain chemistry, enhancing emotional resilience. The psalmist demonstrated this principle when declaring, "Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits." Psalm 103, verse 2. This attitude doesn't deny difficulties. Many such elders endure severe pain and limitations, but chooses focus on remaining blessings. Retirement homes implementing gratitude journals report remarkable transformations. Once, bitter elders rediscover meaning by thanking for sunlight, a grandchild's visit, or happy memories. This terminal gratitude isn't naivety, but practical wisdom, the same that led Jesus, even on the cross, to find reason for thanks. "Father, into your hands I commit my spirit." When cultivated through life, it becomes a soul habit, persisting when nearly all else is gone. As we contemplate these 7 pillars: reconciliation, practical faith, emotional legacy, wise acceptance, authentic fellowship, eschatological hope, and continual gratitude, we realize the difference between departing in peace or agony is rarely about luck or circumstance. As Proverbs shows us, "By wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established." Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. Each pillar represents a room in the soul we can furnish throughout life. The profound wisdom lies in understanding these pillars aren't erected on the deathbed, but through thousands of daily choices made over years. The elder who departs serenely is often the one who decades earlier began building inner peace, like Joseph, who in old age could confidently say about his bones, "God will surely come to you." This perspective transforms our understanding of aging, not as passive waiting for the end, but as active harvesting of what we've planted. Modern science and biblical wisdom converge here. The quality of our departure is inextricably linked to the quality of our journey. Therefore, the most urgent message isn't about how to die, but how to live. Let us begin building these pillars today, not from fear of death, but from love for life. A life that, when lived with this wisdom, naturally blossoms into peace, even in life's latest autumn. As the psalmist wrote, "They will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay fresh and flourishing, because true terminal peace begins long before the terminus." Thus we reach the heart of this reflection. Peace in the final breath isn't random grace, but the ripe fruit of a life sown with wisdom. Each pillar we've explored today, from forgiveness to gratitude, from faith to fellowship, aren't just concepts, but daily choices that, when cultivated, transform even life's most challenging moment into a serene passage. Scripture teaches us that A person's steps are directed by the Lord, and every decision to reconcile, love, believe, and give thanks is a step toward peaceful journey's end. No matter your age today, it's always time to start building or strengthening these foundations. Talk with your family, pray more intentionally, write your memories, heal old wounds. Old age can be life's sweetest season if we live purposefully until the final day. And if this content touched your heart, leave your like. This helps us reach more people needing this message. Also, subscribe to the channel for more reflections uniting biblical wisdom and practical living every day. Share with someone you love, because the best way to prepare for peaceful departure is helping others do the same. May God bless your journey, and until next time, when we'll continue exploring how to live and conclude each chapter of life with grace from above.